6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the No Recoil podcast, the only Samurai Showdown podcast that we know of. Happy 4th of July, a very patriotic podcast. Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we mashed at the tourney's
Holy
last
frick.
streaming?
I was
That's
gonna say, you
all
know way more of that than I do.
I googled it. And I only rewrote those last two lines. Hello, I hope everyone's having a great 4th of July weekend. You see, another pretty big one came and went. And in a tragic twist of fate, I didn't win this time.
So tragic.
Yeah,
Tragic.
horrible. I'm sure everyone is crying about it. I am joined here by 4 of my closest friends. Let's give a warm welcome to Healing Vision,
Hello.
Daigo 2,
Hello.
B-Boy Sonic X,
Onichi, howdy, gamers.
Disorder Unit.
Yo, what's up?
Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
It was a pretty high competition tournament despite not having loads of people. It's very lower key this year because we were BYOC. We didn't really get the pomp and circumstance as last year in a way that was kind of really nice because we were extended lineup. Because they keep kind of messing around with the side game format for us. We've had like a different side game format every year at EVO.
And now there's no side games basically except for BYOC.
Yeah. So I hope we're still in it for a bit. I think it's been proven that we can still get the numbers pretty much at every event that has us. We're faring better than a lot of other games, but yeah, some pretty big there's a lot of hype and a lot of upsets. I was on the receiving end of them, sadly. But an upset's an upset, and it makes the tournament exciting. So
You gotta keep it interesting.
Definitely a couple players that came out of nowhere.
yeah, well, the biggest one is probably
Yes,
Sonaru,
indeed.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Did way better than
Shout outs to Undernight Gamers, yeah.
yeah. Did placed way higher than than probably expected, right? Last year he didn't do that well. I think he didn't make. Well, I think he did make top 16.
Yeah, it was top
But-
16, and then he ended up facing Watanabe, I think it was.
Yeah. They had a pretty solid Yoshitora, like a pretty, like he clearly, I think I caught like little murmurs from when he was speaking to the Japanese, and I think it's pretty clear that he has been playing a bit with like, because he mentioned Watanabe by name after he played me, so I think he has been playing, right? I don't know why he chose like right now rather than last year, but
No time like the present.
Yeah, he's definitely been putting work in. It's just evident by his gameplay. He's doing pretty good.
Definitely.
I think for some people, seeing, not just hearing about the Pro Tour and knowing that there's money, but actually like seeing it happen can maybe provide a little bit of inspiration for people to come back to the game. So
yeah,
so
for sure.
It could be that he saw stuff last year and he's like, man, I want to be a part of that.
It's like when, right after the end of the tour, you saw like the Discord popping off with everybody. Even though it wasn't really top players, it was just everybody. And then like people like KOF players asking questions about the game and stuff. I know Barbar and Sosek Nash fan were trying to get into it. I don't think it really like lasted. But it's kind of like, even though it didn't last, we had our little pop off there for a bit, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Like a little spark, even if it's temporary.
Yeah, good to have people paying attention every now and then.
Well, it feels like we're getting some new people coming in every now and then. 99 Cent McFury. I'll see him asking for games, and he wasn't around last year during the previous SWC thing. So it's just cool to see some people kind of scoping it out and see if they like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This year we had Just Josh in as well. He's
Oh yeah,
a little newer and.
He's been playing online a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good to see. Good. Whenever you see somebody grinding who hasn't before, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's like a bottleneck of new people, and it's like you'll get a certain amount of people coming in, and even though most of those people won't commit, as long as a few of them do, then it's like a net positive, right?
Oh yeah.
So I don't really think we're like losing people or anything. I think even though the number is lower this year, it's kind of like the same number of committed players. It's just that Evo is really expensive, and this was a lower key event this year, so
Yeah.
Exactly.
But also, the thing about this year's Evo is, I feel like this is kind of one of those things where even if the numbers themselves are not great, like let's say they're like 27. I don't. How many entries did we get this year? It was around 27 or something like that.
35,
I think.
33.
Oh, was it 35?
Yeah, something like
33. Okay, somewhere in that range. But the bottom line is that it just feels like the competition is just becoming more fiercer. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, even from a perspective of the an audience at home watching the game. Top 8s are still going to be fire no matter what, because we're always going to be having some really good plays in the top 8 regardless,
yeah,
People watch it
That's
for sure.
you're always gonna get the hungry people just because it's Evo. It's you'll get, I think, less bracket padding, but
Yeah.
people gotta realize regardless of any politics or any optics, it's still Evo is still Evo, and it's very obligatory on both a social and competitive level. So there's not really ever going to be a low competition Evo.
True.
Yeah.
But man, the cost this year was the worst. So
Yeah, it was
that happened.
a lot of money. A lot of money. Just to be in Vegas is a lot of money.
Glad y'all made it. Glad I made it. Honestly, if it wasn't a sponsored trip, I probably wouldn't have gone. I mean, well, I would have tried to figure out if I could manage it, but initially, but even before Samsho was going to be there, when my homie said he wanted to sponsor me, I had straight up said that I don't even know if I want to go to Evo this year.
Yeah. I mean, if I didn't essentially have to go, I probably would have been forgiven for sitting this one out.
Yeah, there are points, but outside of that, I mean, Evo, like you said, stuff aside, Evo is still Evo. So if you're going to do other stuff or do Vegas-y stuff, and you can manage it, it's still a good trip overall, or can be. But yeah, in fact, I think that's part of what overall made it worth it for me, because I ended up also going for under night. So even Samsho points aside, at least just the overall trip of Evo is still a thing. But it makes sense why the brackets wouldn't be, even though they're always stacked competition wise, it makes sense why it wouldn't be as massive, because it was hard.
Yep.
In fact, well, all the international players that were there were pretty much there also for other things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's why we got
Koji,
Scenario and Score. But most of the other international players already planned out trips for both Combo Breaker and the upcoming CEO. And this was kind of the the one that they ended up skipping.
Mhm.
But we will see them in a couple months.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah, we're starting to get into the thick of it. We're starting to get into the kind of the second half here. We're about a
Warzone.
third done.
Home stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to. I'm tied with Akun, but it's gonna be pretty hard to maintain that lead unless he does exceedingly poorly because he's going to BAM.
Oh,
So he's going to
Melbourne,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and then he's also going to KGP. Now KGP is going to be like a monstrously hard event, so there's a chance he like doesn't get top 8, but I don't think he has anything to really worry about at Melbourne. So if I do like incredibly well at S Factor and he doesn't do very well at either of those events, then maybe I could get a lead over him because we're tied right now. But
Well, dude, you need to be just top 8. That's like you're gonna be fine, you know.
I don't know about that technically because like that lower threshold is gonna get like shorter and shorter, and you can't necessarily afford
Less room for error.
or like in any Master 3 event you miss is gonna add up to it, right? Like if I didn't miss Vegas Climax, then I could be at 1900 at least, and I could be number 2. But yeah, I don't know if I don't want to be in a position where I only have like one major left and I have to guess whether or not I'm gonna have enough points, right?
That sounds pretty stressful.
Yeah, I kind of wish.
That's
This is
why-
why I wish we had the old format because I would be in. But
Be an actually proper format. But this is
Yeah.
why I really hope that Kelly and Thrusty are gonna keep working on that, like, the thing that they made for like basically like a draft system, putting in points and like showing how the progression would go. And hopefully they make that public because I saw Thrusty preview it, and it'd be pretty cool for us to see like. And see and get like a more solid understanding of where everyone will be at from where we know people are going to. And to be real, like I still like when it comes to like looking at and predicting how things may be, I still kind of have Score and Okun like out of the picture because to me they're set. I think with where Score's going everything regardless. But where Okun is at right now and just how good he is, and like you said, like basically he'd have to like fumble miserably. If he doesn't do that, then as far as I'm concerned, Okun is basically guaranteed just like Score is. And so it's a question of everyone else below them on the points where they'll be going and how things shake out. And that's the other aspect of it, is that it feels, I might have checked the list again, but it feels like a lot of the international events are like either overlapping or in quick succession of each other throughout
Yep.
these next couple months.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
the biggest
absolutely.
gap is before Roundhouse. It's like a 1 month gap, so that's going to be the really big one because everyone that could have a shot is going to make their decision there, or make their decision to cut their loss and go to Sweden, right? But everybody that could potentially make it in on points is going to be at Roundhouse. So
Is Roundhouse the final one?
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be the last chance before the last chance.
Right.
Yeah.
The LCQ.
Although to be completely honest, I feel like I know what you're saying, Scrub, about like, well, if like, Okun doesn't do so hot and like, whatever. I just kind of feel like the point system, there's certain people who are not like a guaranteed lock, but like, pretty safe shot, like, Okun and you as well, Scrub, because of the point lead that you already have. Because unless something happens where like somebody who is not like, who doesn't have any points at all, who's like completely out of left field, gets like first place or a huge amount of points, I think we're kind of already seeing where like, the everything's gonna fall. That's just me. But to be fair, like, we have what, like 5 or 6 tournaments left before, so a lot of things can happen. But unless it's like somebody who's like not ranked at all gets like first place or something, I don't foresee too many point upsets. But maybe I'm wrong though.
Well,
I
that would be my
mean,
other question: is which things are you going to scrub that Okun is also going to?
well, my ideal
That he's not going
plan is S Factor. The ones that I can viably go to remaining are S Factor, CEO, UFA, and Roundhouse. So everything else
That's
is
almost
not.
all of them, dude.
That's not all of them. That's missing.
Well, the only ones that, yeah, but I mean, like, so
Well-
you're not going to Brazil, like, okay.
Yeah, it's all the ones on our side of the globe, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I looked at Birmingham is not viable. And Brazil is not viable. So and then Australia is the least viable. That's like a $3,000
Yeah.
flight. So
Jesus.
Yeah, my plane ticket to Birmingham was not cheap.
yeah, so
Yeah. Dang.
if I can win another Master 3, that would be pretty splendid. That would put me in a pretty safe spot. I think it's like the points, it's like the people that have won a major are not the ones fighting for their lives. It's the people that haven't or won't win a major that are kind of fighting for that last spot. Right?
Yeah.
It's hard.
But then we also have to remember Cypher, he already qualified, so any points he gets are kind of like a spoiler vote type of thing,
Yeah, well, like like we've talked about, Cypher is kind of like our savior, but also potentially our biggest op at the same time. Because anything he goes to, he can take the giant points amounts away, but he can also gatekeep people in bracket at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's low key some bracket luck there too, wherever he goes.
Well, what you're basically saying is that he is a gatekeeper for everybody, regardless of
Yeah, exactly. So
where
like,
you're from.
even though it's like we were saying, like he could save us, he's still technically gatekeeping everybody regardless.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's fair. Like if you could go to these events and still get a net positive profit, like
Yes, exactly.
I don't blame
Well,
him. Like
and
why
this-
wouldn't you go?
Here's the thing with like Cypher, he's basically, like I said, he's kind of like a spoiler vote equivalent. But what it really is that he's just kind of messing up the bell curve, right? Like if he keeps taking the points at the top, like that are just kind of getting thrown out the window at that point, it's just kind of like lowering the bell curve a little bit further to the left, I guess.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of like it just depends on how they fall, of course.
The only problem with it is for us as all being NA players, he's taking points from in tournaments that we would theoretically be getting points in, rather than
So
getting first at KGP
Yeah,
and
the ones that we
Australia
won't be
and
able to
like
go
and yeah.
so
but-
should we send him to Brazil? Like just throw the money together and just
Well,
send
that's
him
what
to
Saro
Brazil?
said. Is that's what should be the actual like big brain game plan? Is if
Yeah.
we sponsor Cypher go where we can't go.
go to
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
The
Yeah, actually,
the ideal scenario is people that already have a fair number of points either keep winning those points, keep winning more points, or win a Master 2. So that would be Akun and Iwayo are the
Yeah,
people
yeah,
you want
true.
to be winning, because they're either going to keep the spot they already have, or they're just going to be off the board completely. So all those points are like nil that they have. But you don't want. Well, what scenario accomplished? You don't want, because now he's potentially in a position where he could take a spot from somebody, and it's actually pretty competitive at the 500 spot. There's like 4 people at 500, and Maki is the one that makes the cut right now because his points by the tiebreaker rule. He has more points from a Master 2, so that's why.
Yeah, that 500 mark is kind of what I'm looking at too. Just if you assume that the other 2 auto qualifiers, along with Cypher, if you assume that those are also going to be players who would be in the points anyway, which isn't for sure, but it's decently likely, then I basically look at the standings as wanting to be in the top 11 then, because it's with the 8 points, and then assuming 3 of those, 3 in that top 11 are ones who won the auto qualifier.
Yeah.
So I just looked at it real quick. The Brazil tournament is going to be August 1st and the 2nd. Unironically, like, I would not be opposed to, chipping in for a flight for him if that were to be even an option.
For Cypher to go.
I was looking to go to that myself, since I have a friend in Brazil I want to visit, but I realized I don't have enough vacation days because I'd want to stay with him for like a week. So not doing it, but
yeah, it's also tough making these big flights for like a weekend.
Yeah, exactly. To not sightsee when you're going to somewhere. Like I was fortunate enough to get a day in France, but yeah, it's part of the competition, I guess, is the money.
Yeah, I just keep telling myself, what do I have a job for if I'm not going to dump my money on this?
I mean, by all accounts, it's a mostly pretty cheap hobby compared to others out there.
Yeah, comparatively.
Mostly, if you're not a globe-trotting top player.
Yeah, then I guess it's expensive.
Yeah, Maki and Healing Vision, you're both tied at 500.
Yeah.
Yes, but Maki has 200 from his placement at Combo Breaker, which is what puts him ahead by the tiebreaker rule. So that puts even more importance on going to Master 2s, because that could be the difference maker.
Yeah, going to Combo Breaker is what saved my spot, I think, and I'm like dead in the middle or something, aren't I?
You have 400.
Yeah, that 400, 500 zone, just, there's too much going on there. I need y'all to let me get more points.
Yeah, that win that performance from Sinaru puts him currently in 16th place, so he would have the last spot if it was tomorrow. But
what? 16? I think it's just 8 for.
Yeah, it's top 8 for points. Everything else is the auto
8
qualifiers.
for points, and then everything else is from other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, LCQ is just one person, right?
No, LCQ is 4 people.
I think it's 4.
Oh, 4?
Oh, it's 4?
Okay.
I don't know why I thought it was 3. Damn.
Okay.
Yeah, so LCQ will be easy. You guys don't need to worry about your points. Just go to the LCQ. Don't go to anywhere else.
Okay, unironically, I think a lot of people weren't pleased with the whole like Stockholm thing because it's so far for so many of us, and it's probably not going to be a cheap flight. I question if people who don't have the points are even going to bother going, because that's an expensive flight for a gamble on whether or not you're going to make LTQ, you know?
Yeah, that's a
it's hard. Is it? It's more expensive for us than it would be for Japan, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Well, because they'd be flying the opposite direction, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
either way, it's still not going to be cheap for them, you know?
It's not going to be cheap for anyone. I'm sure, obviously, like, all of Europe will be there, but...
Yeah. I mean, like, Chaco's probably, like, chilling right now, but, you know.
For now, I think the competitive number will probably be closer to 1,000 for the last place spot. Like that's like the bare minimum of what you're gonna need to
Yeah.
make the cut
Okay.
by the end of the year.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's really hard to like actually forecast without knowing who's going to what, but that's kind of the number that I have in mind as well.
Yeah. I was thinking closer to 1,200, but it might be 1,000, depending. It really just depends on who gets the number one spots at the various forms, and that's kind of why I'm really thinking maybe we should have a talk with Cypher about the Brazil tournament.
Really cool.
He was there last year.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
maybe
He
he'll
won,
just
I
go.
Yeah, he won.
I think that grand finals was him versus Rance, if I recall.
I think that was S Factor.
Or
No,
yeah, it sounds like S
no.
Factor.
Oh,
Was it?
No, yeah,
Okay.
S Factor. Yeah, that was S Factor.
And then
No,
I think
wait,
it
who
was
got
him.
it in Brazil then?
I think it was K2.
K2.
Was who he
Oh,
played.
you're right.
oh,
God.
okay.
Shows you how much of a nerd I am that I remember this when I had 0 shot of qualifying last year. I was still
You're paying
following all these details. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Following the points and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you guys like rewatch the whole top 8?
Not a whole
Not
topic. I just watched
all-
my stuff for now.
I watched
I
most
normally
of it.
rewatch my own replays, but I'm too bitter. about
Yeah.
being played right now.
Me too.
Not saying that just like if I would have like. Not saying I should have beaten Cypher or anything, but I'm a little too bitter to look it over right now, and I kind of know what most of my mistakes were, so I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna wash this one, forget about it, and try to do better next time.
That's how I feel. I like looked at all the other games and then I was like, my own games are cringe. I don't want to look at those.
yeah, that's probably what I'll do sometime soon.
Yeah, give it time. And I'm still waiting on the pools matches to be uploaded. In fact, let me check again.
Who got
Because they've
those?
still Dreamers Force. They were
Oh,
recording.
wait, they did record them. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but
Doesn't look like it.
they've just been uploading KOF stuff right now. Frick, man. So yeah, we can't even look over any pool stuff because I really wanted to. Well, I mean, we still don't know whether or not they were recording during Scrub versus Scenario, but if they are, I want to see the full match of that. And well, the only other things I would need to review in pools is my match with Cypher, so that way I can recall what I did right. With Koji, I guess I would need to look at what I did wrong with Iroha, because I beat him with knowledge checks with Wu, to be honest. There honestly isn't really much to review from that aside from the first match. Just to see what the stark difference was between Koji's Warden and Cypher's Warden, and maybe that was just the beginning of me not playing the video game right. Because that's basically everything after beating Cypher. It feels like every other match, aside from the first one with Scrub, I was just kind of not playing correctly. I don't know if I was scared or what, but this is why I just have to keep playing every day, and I need to solidify like my foundation game plans, or just worst case, if I autopilot, I'm at least doing
Mm-hmm.
the overall just basically correct things. Because I don't know if we were going to go into specifics, but that's the one takeaway from my match with Scenario. Going off of what what Healing Vision and Maki had observed, like, yes, me stance breaking over and over wasted time, but literally if I did any Oki, like if I literally did anything different, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
The stance breaking
Anything
itself
different?
wasn't even,
Yes, I agree with that.
Well, no, like that's what I wanted to clarify. That I realized is that the stance breaking wasn't the problem. My Oki was the problem because as soon as I got the first stance break,
Yeah, you should have
if
just
I did
run in and do
literally
something.
anything else besides
Yeah.
safe meaties, it wouldn't have mattered if he kept jumping or not. He would have
Yeah.
gotten hit. So yeah, I just hyper focused way too much on doing a safe meaty because I wanted to bait just one DP, and everything would have been fine. But I should not have focused on that. So
Yeah. I mean, dude, like, I know we, like, it was the worst time to, like, talk about it, because I know, obviously, when stuff like that happens, you're in a different headspace and whatnot, but you burned, like, 12 seconds of your own time when you only had, like, 18 left. That was, like...
Yeah, you had 22 Samsho seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
yeah, and if I'm not doing any Oki, then... and I'm assuming he realized it, because I think Scenario is, like, that fundamentally sound, because, yeah, he was able to just keep doing the same thing. So that was,
It was
honestly
working for him in a different way. Yeah.
You might have been
Yeah.
better off, like, if you're too afraid to commit to the delay throw, it might be better to reset to neutral and just...
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, that was part of what was like being weighed in my head, was that I described Scenario as like a middle ground between Bubba and Rance. Scenario can sometimes be like Rance, where like you had said, he kind of chills and he waits for an opportunity. But then the moment you're hesitating, he'll just be more like Bubba and he'll just keep jumping at you. So that's part of why, like, when I was in neutral, I did just want to sit and just wait for the jump. But then if he's chilling, there's no jump to wait for. So then that's where you need to adapt and at least like try to do some offense. So yeah, depending on the situation, situational awareness. Like either return to neutral, see what you can like wait for, or recognize the willingness to chill and go freaking do some stuff. And yeah, that's the main takeaway. I just wasn't doing stuff, which is why it's good to just have a good baseline, because I have my Nako Oki and it's honestly very streamlined. I should just do it, but I was just too focused on the potential reward of baiting a DP. But
there was quite the life difference, though, like between you and him. Like, you still would have had to, like, really, like, you needed damage and you needed it quickly,
Yeah, well, if you get a knockdown with Nako, do a couple cross up lows, do a throw. That's already like.
I feel like you commit really hard to the safe options, and it's just like reduces the threat, right?
Yeah.
Because I can just like take multiple knockdowns, and it's like not actually that big of a deal. Or if I felt like if you committed harder to like close 5B confirm, or something like 2C into like, and then confirm into cling, right? Then that would disincentivize more and prevent like that kind of type of situation, because you get like a lot of knockdowns, right? But it's kind of too easy to like roll out of it, right?
Yeah, well, that's what the dashing chase is for. But that's why like there's a bunch of layers that you're supposed to like cycle, aside from weighing. Well, it's either you're weighing risk or you're calling out tendencies usually. And if you're not trying to if you're not worried about risk, then yeah, you do something to give them something to worry about. Which actually, that was literally something that I had noted, especially for you, Scrub, and Cypher, was to remember to do stuff to give your opponent something to worry about. Basically, do things that force decisions. And I know I did that with Cypher the first time. I was kind of doing that with you, and then I was kind of just falling apart and playing sloppy. And Scenario, I kind of just didn't do that at all. So I need to just become more consistent with that.
Well, B-Boy, like, I made my interpretations a little different, but it just felt to me like you yourself mentioned the, layers and the Oki, but all those layers don't matter if you keep throwing rock, and like,
Yeah, well, that's the realization is that I was throwing rock.
You're throwing
and
rock over and over and over
not
again.
do that.
And rock is fine when it's the solid, like, say, as the scrub said, playing it safe, whatever, that's absolutely fine. But given the circumstances that you were in at that very moment, that was not fine. You needed to do some, like, wild play, not necessarily like a Hail Mary type of thing, not like wake up
not
SSM on their
even
wake up, like, but
Yeah, I wouldn't even say wild play. Like, again, like, it wasn't even just necessarily about, like, doing something wild. I didn't even need to do a call out. Literally just doing meaty 6-6D would have caught his jump. And that's my safe Oki, quote unquote. So, yeah, it's an example of, doesn't necessarily have to go into, like, hard call outs, but step one of just switch to something. Which, yeah, I get that. The main thing that I had wanted to point out from the example you guys gave before was with the stance breaking. The stance breaking was more so the reaction to him jumping. And yes, that was wasting time. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't stance break.
No, nobody's saying you shouldn't. It was just not the right choice at that moment, though.
Yeah, because it's still better to get a knockdown and do something than to let Yoshi jump in and now you're in strike throw high-low. So that I did want to make sure that I understood correctly. That, like, I wouldn't tell anyone to not stance break Yoshi.
Yeah.
I mean, unless, well, I take it back. I wouldn't default to tell someone to do that unless you believe in your heart of hearts they're about to commit to something insanely risky and you want to block to get the higher reward. But that's like that goes into like situational awareness, adaptation, choosing what you want to do in the moment. See, this all just depends on what you observe. That's why it's important to have a good baseline, but also just to be aware as you can of the situation and your opponent. And now I know that whatever was happening, I completely skipped awareness there. Can't let that happen again.
No, not at that stage in the game,
Yeah. Hurts, but I just gotta remember it for future reference.
Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing. It's, you can very very easily like take something away from that, because it was go back and watch and just be like, oh, clearly this was the mistake I made. So it's kind of good that it happened in a weird way.
Yeah. Learn from it and just well, that's what I was gonna say about like what Scrub and Daigo said, where like if there are matches you already know what you did wrong, then yeah, you don't really have to harp on it. Just remember that and move on. Fix it.
Sometimes the game is just about guessing, right? And it's like, it's kind of not worth winning it that much if you just guessed wrong. It's just kind of like you can strategize, but I feel like it's not good to come in with a huge list of preconceived strategies, because you need to be able to throw something out if it's not working, and you need to be able to respond to what's happening in real time and like adjust your plan on the fly. So I don't really do as much like note taking as I used to, really. I kind of just focus on like the strategy of just, you should kind of have an autopilot. Somebody made a really good tweet that you actually should have an autopilot to an extent. I think it was Yohosi or something. But that's not the same as like a flow chart of like the Ken flowchart meme, where you just always do one thing at one lay, right? If you catch my drift.
That's what I mean when I say like establish a good baseline. Like have the basic autopilot that you're going to do, and then you go from there based on observation or whatever other layers of game plan you have. But there should be that step one that is solid enough to where you at least know you can do it and don't have as much to worry about. Like Oki.
Mhm.
But I guess in regards to, or I forgot if I had said it, but yeah, Scrub, I straight up got lucky against you. The first match was fire, but everything after that, I got lucky. Genuinely.
I don't know about that. So that kick, I can't think of what that was a throw input for sure. I think I planked it or something. I've never had that kind of drop. The bazooka, I'll give you that one because I think I actually didn't respond to the situation fast enough and kind of greeted it a bit.
What the frick? Yeah, I mean, I think at least the last match for sure, a lot of the scrambles was spaghetti. I know it made things hype for the commentary, but that was freaking nerve-wracking.
I felt good about it because, like, I opened up your neutral in better ways than I used to. Like, I have a lot of trouble, like, having any confidence dealing with Nako neutral, and I feel like that match, like, I got a lot of whiff punishes, right?
Yes, it was really freaking good.
Yeah. So I felt good about that.
Yeah, especially at Nako, it's like impossible to whiff punish.
Yeah, well, you have to be very committal, and then you have to play the RPS around your whiff punish commitments, because, like, her ability to open that up is pretty high, right?
Yeah.
And having the confidence to block against Nako, it's like a big part of the mind game, right? Because she is really good at forcing neutral run throw RPS, because, like, her run options are not unsafe like they are for other characters, right? So it's like she gets the damage output, she gets the risk reward, and then she's like a lot more safe than she should be. That's why I think Nako's like a top tier character, right? It's like the idea behind run options being as unsafe as they are is it's supposed to be like unsafe to earn a neutral run throw, and there's characters in the game that kind of just cheat that, right? And I feel like Nako's one of those characters, right? So it's very hard. The thing is, like, her damage is kind of low, but that's kind of just like a fair trade-off. That's not really like a weakness.
Yeah, I think because she has such a stable vortex, and a much safer vortex at that, like compared to someone like Iroha, I think Nako's low damage makes sense. It's a weakness in context of, like, when you need to clutch out situations or, like, you're at a major like life deficit, but in terms of actual character weakness, like, no. Who cares if she's low damage? I get a knockdown and I force you to make a bunch of decisions. Or as long as I space things correctly. Yeah, I think, when Nako spaces things, she is, like, definitively one of, if not the safest character in the game.
Mm-hmm. And I would say it's Nako's low damage most of the time, but being a character that can land unscaled weapon flip a little bit more easily than the rest of the cast does give her really good damage potential still.
Yeah, the weapon flip is like, if it wasn't for Baiken's stupid air buttons, it would be a huge problem, right? Because I can't compete in the rage game. But I had 2 scenarios where I stuffed your weapon
Yeah.
flip.
I couldn't tell if you were preemptive or if I was late.
It's kind of intentional, you know. You kind of just
Okay.
kind of do it.
Then yeah, that was smart on your part then, because yeah, I was trying to like those are situations where I want to get my reactions as best as possible, because I'm honestly half the time I do that I'm aiming for the trade, because if I'm late and I trade, that's a free SSM. So if I can get my reactions to either hit you or at worst trade, then yeah, that'll force people to like never jump or anything when Nako's enraged.
Will never get me to stop jumping people. And
I guess I just have to run at you and figure out what to do from there.
By the
Yeah.
time Amakusa lands, rage will run out anyway.
good point.
You're right. You know what? Maybe I guess shout out to all the Japanese homies. Y'all are right. Nako. I mean, I considered her. That's why I always considered her the potential top tier, because it depends on what you value. But I think it's pretty safe to say that like, if you want to remake a tier list, if you put Nako in top tier, I don't think anyone would argue with you unless they consider her like paper cuts that much of a detriment. But I think the established privileges that she has, she's definitely my top tier pick at this point.
Nobody put her below top 5, I feel like.
Yeah, pretty
I
sure.
feel like
really think
internationally,
well,
the opinion on characters is pretty much set. It's you don't really see certain characters outside the conversation other than Kaz, Nako, Hibiki, Viking. It's kind of universal, right? And then when you get to the A tier, that's where it becomes a little more ambiguous. There's a lot of really strong kind of A tier characters that unfortunately have more pronounced weaknesses that kind of stop them from getting to that top 5 echelon.
like the border.
Yeah, like I think Mina is a pretty great candidate for someone just on that line.
Mina,
We'll get
Shiki.
to.
Yeah, Haomaru.
Yoshi.
Oh?
Yeah, I would personally have Yoshi
Yeah, Yoshi
I'm-
should have been
on a
up
similar
there.
level as the top 5. I would, the way I think of it, and who am I to say? I'm not saying I know better than anybody else, but I think of Kaz, Shizu, and Baiken being a top 3, and then just barely behind them, Hibiki, Yoshitora, and Nako being another strong 3.
Actually, yeah, that's really good.
I think it's also sort of the dawn of Warden. We've been seeing
Yeah.
rising through the ranks in the last couple of tournaments.
Character's a problem. No one has an answer to the Jumpy Gabor.
Well, there is the answer, but it's very character dependent. It's the freaking anti-air.
The answer is to outrange him, where he can't do a JC, and then the RPS is not in his favor. But other than that scenario, jump Gobert basically.
Yeah, he has the most stable. Yeah, I think he does have the most stable game plan.
The thing
So,
about
yeah.
like,
Simple.
because his ground game isn't great, you can kind of stop him from like in the Jubei matchup just from playing Tonfa. That's the problem range is the end of the B before you get to the C, right? When your only option is JB, and then they have more time for preemptive anti-air tools,
Yeah.
right? Because it hits later. But once you're in that range, it's just money RPS and forever. And it's like, I can't think of a counter. I can't think of something that, like, jumping isn't supposed to be good, but
Thanks,
clearly
SNK.
the evidence is to the contrary. Jumping's pretty cool.
With Baiken, like, yeah, aside from attempting air-to-airs. Well, because against fast jumps in general, if you don't have a reliable grounded anti-air, you probably should just be air-to-airing, to be honest. And even that, like, can be hard if someone chooses to be more preemptive than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's particularly hard on Warden because his jump is really low too. So like I've
I
noticed
think
some
he has
air
the
go right
best
over his
jump
head.
C. Yeah, it's diagonal, it's disjointed.
Yeah.
He can do it mad early.
The game wants you to use your air-to-air tools. The game doesn't want you to just sit there and react to options. Even though it's like you have to accept that every air-to-air tool versus a jumping opponent with the correct jump space and timing is an RPS, and you could feasibly lose every time. Right. The only advantage the defender gets from a jump is grounded movement. So you have the option of a run or a backdash, which is good for like positioning, but in terms of an actual strike, right, every option that isn't a DP is an RPS. So I think the game wants you to just like space your air options and play that. Feels like kind of like what the new Avatar game is going for, right? That game wants you to like
Do stuff.
wants you to air clearly. I feel like that's kind of what Samsho is going for too.
Scenario's pretty good. Right?
Go ahead. Sorry, what'd you say?
That's all I was gonna say. Scenarios. He was really good with when his opponent jumped, he would do backdash into the high Nadeshko. That was he spaced that out really well. So I think Scrub's onto something with the spacing. It's really important.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead, Daigo.
Oh, I was gonna, for a character like Kaz, who has a lot of good anti-airs, but most of them have at least like one or have scenarios where they're not gonna work. I just try to, when I'm playing neutral, when I'm playing footsies, just at whatever range that me and the opponent are at, I try to just always know, okay, if they forward jump, which option am I taking? Which one will beat this character at that range if they jump? And I think that works well. The problem is for low jump arc characters like Warden, it takes a lot more of the mental stack to really be ready to react with DP.
Yeah.
It's a reaction check.
You can't really like. I think like I haven't calculated the earliest frame like a Warden JC can hit your head, but it's like it's too early that if you know you can DP, it's still too early to be able to reliably DP react.
Let's see. Well, that's why I'm glad Disorian brought in the aspect. Well, Disorder and Scrub brought in the aspect of positioning, because that is, to me, that is the two things you're supposed to leverage at the same time. Is the RPS with your anti-air options and the proper positioning to make it as feasible to react to as possible. That's why, like Scrubby brought up before, against Yoshi, it honestly is just straight up better to maintain that positioning to get like the farther distance of Yoshi's JC to make it as easy to react to as you can. With Warden, or sorry, to backtrack, with Biken, I mean, Biken has like 20 different things to leverage, but it'd be a question of what's in the realm of practicality with reaction, because you can play the RPS of early jump in versus late jump in. So you can do instant block with stance breaks. You can use your guard point stance, which forces empty jumps. If he's doing empty jumps, then you have more leeway to react with your command dash or 6P. So there's all those different things that you have to like cycle, and it's just a question of how much RPS do you want to play, I guess. And with Warden, I forget how early you can do a jump, or how early you can do an aerial after you take off from the ground. But let's see. Jump C. Sorry, you made me curious. Now I want to check. So let's say you can do a rising JC. That would be a 15 frame overhead, but I don't think you can hit people rising. So maybe add a few frames there. I don't know, but even like if you add a few frames to that, that's getting into the 18, 20 something frame range, which is technically reactable, but obviously not.
Well, that and your DPS startup too. So
Yeah. Well, with DPs, basically, unless you are a character with a slow DP, like
Vikings is a bit slower.
Mizu, Yoshi. Well, wait.
Wanfu is so
Yeah,
slow.
Wanfu. Basically, if you're doing BDP on reaction, you just have to make sure you're early enough to not get safe jumped. And that's part of the point of using a DP, is that the invul gives you the leeway to be a little bit late, but not too late. Unless you use ADPs, which are faster, and you kind of just have to use the range instead. That's a whole other layer that I've looked into, because like there are some times where some characters should be using their ADPs instead of BDP. And it's just a question of reaction. Sorry, point is, I guess it all comes down to the situation and the practicality of what you deem to be like reactable. Because like Baiken command dash A follow up, for example, I forget how fast that is. I'd have to look, but that is another thing that you would probably have to try to leverage at like the further distances, like the mid-range distance. Probably not easy, but like this is one of the many options to keep in mind. But that's why I want to like keep doing drills, keep trying to like practicing these things, just to solidify that if anti-airing in this game is possible and SNK didn't just make an air footsies game on accident, then I want to try to at least be able to react to some of these things.
I think it's pretty deliberate with like the size of the air buttons and everything. Like, I think they want you jumping
A hippity hop?
for whatever reason. They want you jumping a lot, and they want the pre-jump to be really, really low to encourage those jump RPS interactions, right? They want you jumping, and I think like the characters that can't jump well, like Ukyo and Amakusa, like their neutral tools are so powerful that like you kind of have to jump at them, right, to make up for it. Otherwise, to fight them solely on the ground, it should be like almost impossible because their options are so safe, right?
Inch your way forward, or you jump and then force them to air and yada yada.
Yeah, because Ukyo has to commit to Tsubame, right? And it's like, it's good, but the
or jump
RPS...
buttons. The story unit has shown that we've been sleeping on Ukyo's jump buttons. His jump buttons are actually kind of insane.
Yeah, his air normals are amazing. His actual jump arc is terrible, but his jump B will just cleanly beat Yoshitora jump C like every time, as long as you're not directly underneath him. But that said, his jump is so slow that you can air to air and still get hit on the way down. So there's like these trade-offs.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess maybe. Well, we can give SNK some credit. Maybe there's deliberate choices with these things. I'm kidding, by the way. There are some things about the game that makes you raise an eyebrow, but the way characters are designed, the way tools interact, this is a cool game. It's part of why I like it so much. That's when I'm having my most fun, is when we're playing and I can tell the deliberate use of tools from my opponent, forcing me to like adapt and make decisions. The interactive gameplay, if you will. SNK made a cool game.
Yeah, it's sort of weird way. SNK and Samsho reminds me of that meme. There's like a mecha show meme where there's like this official scientist guy, and the big robot shows up, and they look at the scientist and like, hey, like that robot looks amazing, but why is there a lion on its chest? And the scientist says, because it looks cool. That's like all of Samsho's design. I don't know. I feel like SNK just is like, why does that move operate that way? I don't know. It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, not just like practical.
Well, you just gotta make sure you pick a cool character to, do it right.
Yeah. Which I think we've gotten to the level where I think everyone's showcasing the potency of their characters pretty well. Like obviously there's like little optimizations here and there to like maximize potential, but I think we've all been on a good path of just showing what high level play with these characters looks like.
Agreed.
Yeah,
So more people get impressed.
I think if you look hard enough, there's a rep for almost every character now. You just gotta look a bit hard. We even got Kyoshiro's now.
Yeah, what the frick?
Actually, that's one point to bring up too. Is that I think even this time last year, if I recall correctly, I could be mistaken, but I think that even around this time in the previous season of SWC, B-Boy was still kind of picking up Nako at that time. I think it hadn't been like a full commit, and we hadn't had like a dedicated Nako. But now, this year, we certainly do. Now that B-Boy is like going all in on her, which is cool because we kind of needed that, I think.
Yeah, she's basically my main at this point.
Speaking of B-Boy, how do you feel just about your mix of characters going forward? Are you gonna keep working on? I don't know if you can. Is it 4 characters that you would currently be taking? Do you think you're gonna stick with that, or do you think narrowing your focus would be good?
I think at this point, I feel pretty set. I think my matchup counterpick strategy is set and feels pretty worth it. Like Nako is kind of like my quote-unquote main. Nako is the character that I am doing the best I can to basically be like Wu, where I should be ready to do every matchup, but there are still matchups where I still will counterpick based off of what's overall better or what is a good thing to pick to counterpick style, like play style. So for example, even though there are some matchups where Nako should on paper be okay, there are some matchups where Shiki would be better because she can directly dissuade like someone from zoning, for example, while still having the other benefits to her toolkit. Or other example, like we were talking about with Warden, Iroha is a very good pick for matchups where you need to reliably anti-air, and it's also a character that kind of eventually has to get in. So having a reliable anti-air plus zoning, Iroha is really good for matchups like that. Like Warden, Hibiki, depending on how belligerent the player plays, like things like that. Sorry, I have a whole Google Doc and things that I've written for like matchups and why it's good to pick one character over the other. But short answer, yes. I have liked playing all 4 of the waifus. And it's the strategy that feels overall the most worth it for me. Because I like playing all the characters regardless, and addressing those specific things when it comes to matchups or playstyle fits my style also. Because at the time, I'm trying to have the tools I need in neutral to like not let you do what you want to do. I know, well, actually, it still keeps coming up. Yes, even just now at Evo, where like people question, why aren't I playing Wu? Why are you playing so many characters? So you might still see like slowly see less and less of some characters. Like I think Wu and Shiki are the 2 where they have their use cases, but it may not be as often, but it may still happen. So I would say Nako is my quote-unquote main, but I do have intentions for using all 4 of those characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think you know what you're doing with all of them, so I don't think that's a bad move or anything. But yeah, I was curious, just because I think your Nako does just keep getting better and better. I was curious whether it would ever become a situation where you say, why fool around with these other characters?
Thank you. I think, yeah, with Nako, there's just very specific matchups, like, where she's outranged or, like jumping is so prominent. Yeah, that's the 2 things I would sum up is matchups where people are better than her in the mid-range and matchups where they're just going to be jumping a whole bunch. Those are the ones where, like, yes, you could tough it out with Nako, but why not just use the character with a DP?
Yeah. I gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah. Feels like it makes more sense as long as like my reactions don't suck. But that goes back to what we were saying of at least practicing and trying to be the best that I can in doing that if it is practical. We will see at CEO.
Yeah, it seems like a good strategy. A lot of not everyone, of course, but a lot of the top contenders do have a few characters under their belt, so they can kind of diversify their strategy. Decipher, Nice Ball. You kind of never know what you're going to get when they sit down.
Yeah, those would be 2 people where I do. Well, I kind of I forced myself into just toughing out with Nako because I think I've said, like, I was one of the Vegas climaxes. I sat for like 15-20 minutes playing out the different scenarios, like what the frick I should do against Cypher if I beat him with this. Who's he gonna pick then, or what can happen? And I just ended up deciding I just need to play Nako the first match and adapt from there, because Nako can at least deal with most of Cypher's characters, can at least deal with most of Nice Ball's characters. That's a situation where it can be good to just at least try be good enough with one character to handle those situations, or start enforcing blind picks. Which, side note, I wonder, we might have to do that. It was funny at Evo, but I wonder if me and Cypher might need to start doing blind picks.
I think we even joked about that a little bit in the audience. It was like, oh, geez, I wonder how this is gonna work, because we've got like a huge swath of characters to choose from.
Yeah. I still consider this game to be the one game where, I mean, unless you play Baiken or Kaz, like, to be frank, I think this is the game where multi-mating is practical. Well, Baiken, Kaz, or Shizu. I can't think of a matchup where Shizu would need a counter pick.
Feasibly, I mean, multi-maining is viable in any fighting game if you have enough of a technical grasp of whatever character, because I think you can always get to a point where your character choice is interchangeable, but it takes a lot of talent for that to be true in a game like Street Fighter. Maybe not Street Fighter 6, because Street Fighter 6 is so like
you can have a really
um,
basic game plan in
straightforward.
Street Fighter 6.
Which is
why
why-
Universe Street Fighter 6.
But like Street Fighter 4, the only person that was really doing that was like Infiltration and Gamer B, right?
Yeah.
And this
That's
game,
what I
I
mean in
think,
terms of practicality. Because this game, you can learn a character's baseline in like 5 minutes. It's just a matter of the potency, and your execution. Compared to like, games like Street Fighter 4, or like literally any anime game where you have a bunch of like pretty intensive combos and system mechanic things to have to worry about on top of your character. It's technically possible in any game, but in Samsho, it feels like much less stress to like pick up a character, establish your baseline, and like execute it, because you don't have much combos to worry about. Actually, with Nako, I think the biggest thing that I've honestly spent time fleshing out is Oki more than anything else. Actually, that might be the case with a lot of my characters now that I think about it. Half the time I spend on mastering characters was on freaking Oki. Wow, sorry, y'all just made me realize that.
Oki's pretty fun.
Yeah, and it can make things like pretty stable and straightforward if you know what to do on a knockdown and what to force from your opponent. Because I think, Wu, Nako, Iroha, Shiki, all four of them have like things I can do on a knockdown that make you have to worry about something. But like, I mean, even though I say like Samsho, it feels much less intensive to multi-main. Again, one, it's just a question of like how potent is your character to where do you even bother needing another character? But two, like going to what Sorrow has said, where some characters we might be at the point where you might be a character specialist and there just may not be any interest in multi-maining. Actually, Daigo, like, I mean, do you feel there's any situation where you want to... Actually, sorry, I forget if I've asked before, but is there any situation where you feel in your heart of hearts you need to play Wanfu outside of, like, attempting a knowledge check?
I feel in my heart of hearts, yes, but I think the evidence keeps on saying that my heart is wrong on that. So I hadn't played Mina in a while until leading up to Evo. I was just the amount that I've personally struggled against Charlotte and Jubei. I was trying to get Mina ready as a legitimate option, and I did actually pick Mina after I lost game 1 to score, and it didn't go terribly. But like part of what I was thinking at the time was, so I didn't realize that bad intent wasn't there yet, and I was thinking I knew there was a chance I could play him in losers, and I wasn't sure whether I'd use Mina or Kaz. So I was like, okay, like let me see how I do with Mina in like a high pressure situation, and thinking that Mina would be solid against Hibiki. And it, again, didn't go terrible, but definitely the wrong decision. I think. So I think it's still I enjoy all three of those characters, so I'll still probably keep playing them. Like actually, I get tempted to play Wanfu the most. Like if I'm just bored and thinking about Samsho, I'm like, maybe I could find somebody to play. I could play Wanfu with, but But yeah, I think if I'm being smart, I think I should just put all my eggs into the Kazuki basket. But I don't know. Wanfu to me is a little underrated. Not anywhere near Kaz's ability, but I think there are a lot of things that Wanfu can do well, and so I just always get tempted to play him. So yeah, I'd say that decision still hasn't been made for me of like where that's going forward. But I think my brain's telling me just only play Kazuki and don't worry about those other ones. But the heart longs for Wanfu, and Mina is legitimately a good character, and I think I can do some good things with her. But then when I watch a lot of the Japanese players use Mina, I feel like they use Mina to such a higher potential than what I do. So it kind of makes me like second guess whether it's even that great of a fit for me. But I don't know. But yeah, I enjoy playing all three, and we'll see where it goes. But I think the smart thing would just be to stick with Kaz.
What happened to GSL? That was a thing for a while, and then
yeah. Since I've come to the game a little bit later, it's been difficult for me to learn matchups for characters that we don't have people just playing that are like in our lobbies regularly or anything. So my approach was just to learn every character that I'm not playing against very often, and yeah, GSL was one of them because I love just spamming projectiles in any game. So I had a little bit more fun with her than I did with some of the other ones, like some of the other ones that I learned for even more brief periods of time. So I still like GSL. I just think her strength to me, like when it comes like how everybody's always saying that she's really strong and not many people have, if anybody has like unlocked her true potential. I feel like that's her set play is like the really hard part to unlock, that there's a lot of potential with her teleports, and I'm just not great with set play typically, so I enjoyed playing her, but I think to get her to an actual tournament level of play, it would start moving more and more away from what I'm good at as a player. So haven't really touched her in a while.
Let me see.
Gonna make me want to play her more.
Every time we talk about her, I'm like, she sounds pretty cool, actually.
No, yeah, I think she is cool. I would just, when I was bored a few times, just like lab. Like I remember I came up with like a pretty cool corner Oki setup with her, and then I literally I practiced plenty and never did in a match. I don't think like a single time. But she is cool. There's like a lot. I think if you really dedicated time to her, there's a lot that you could find.
Definitely the most untapped, or one of the most untapped characters, I think.
Yeah, I still consider her a potential top tier because she does share some of those top tier privileges.
She's pretty complex.
And wait, what?
She's pretty complex comparatively. Like, I would definitely put her in like the advanced category, just because she can do so many things.
Absolutely. And also, just to like re-clarify, the main reason I say I'm still still curious about like you guys' character choices and like plans, but just to make sure, the reason I say that like if you play like Kaz, Viken, and Shizu, you probably don't quote unquote need a counter pick is mainly just thinking about the characters that have toolkits that are so well rounded that on paper they should be able to navigate basically everything in the game, but I know like you said, there's still the interest aspect. If you want to play another character, just like play who you want, but also the little nuances sometimes with like fighting opponents, like maybe you need to do something that they won't expect. Maybe you're trying to counterpick their playstyle specifically, and you need to pick another character that can, at least in your level of comfort, can like leverage that better. So yeah, there could probably always be some other reason to like play other characters, but yeah, I'm just curious in general too. Like, actually, like, how this applies to all of you, really. If you guys want to chime in and answer, like, where you feel you're at with your character, and do you ever feel the need to like start having something in the back pocket for the stuff coming out?
I feel like
I
Viking
guess-
can technically handle anything, but I'm kind of just like interested in playing Warden both for fun and for like a different type of top tier, if you know what I mean. Like, but that's kind of the strength of Viking, is I don't feel, well, maybe there's a couple of hypothetical 4/6s, but yeah, part of the reason I've never tried other characters is I don't feel like there's been that much of a reason to. Like, there's not a situation where a character choice is what gets the loss, right? So
Yeah, that makes sense.
To your point, B-Boy, about the well-rounded top tiers, like Kaz probably being king of that, not necessarily. You shouldn't expect there to be like any. They should be able to navigate anything, and I think that that's correct, and that's why my plan has kind of changed as time has gone on to be more and more playing Kaz, just because before I would, there was almost no situations where I would ever say that Kaz had bad matchups before. It was just, there was matchups where I personally wasn't able to figure it out with Kaz, and then maybe there was like a more straightforward game plan with other characters. But as I keep getting better with Kaz, the more I realize, oh no, I have answers to X, Y, or Z matchup that I didn't think I had. And as time has gone on, like now I think I'm at a point where like Kaz, yeah, is either winning or even in pretty much every matchup in the game. The one that I personally, the three matchups I have struggled with are Jubei, Charlotte, and Yoshitora. Although I think I, just leading up to Evo, while I was preparing to use Mina as my counter pick to Jubei and Charlotte, I think I figured out how Kaz, not that I was out here just beating Maki all the time or anything like that, but figuring out how Kaz legitimately wins those matchups. And so now for me it's just really Yoshitora that I feel like I don't have a strong game plan for yet, but I'm working on that as we speak. I was labbing Yoshitora stuff yesterday, so
Nice.
Hopefully that changes.
Alright, that's good.
Yeah, talk about Ukyo a little bit. He, I don't know. I know that a lot of Ukyo players do have secondary, tertiary, and I think it usually comes highly recommended. Because Ukyo's game plan is sadly inconsistent, I think, is just his biggest problem. Is the entire game really revolves around 50-50s, and you can get 2 or 3 of them in a row, and then you get blocked once and lose half your life and start over. And it's tricky. I think the main difference between Ukyo and the super top tiers is that their game plan tends to be very consistent. It's not going to be putting you in 50-50 situations all the time. It's just going to be like really solid normals and zoning and that kind of stuff. Whereas Ukyo kind of has to put himself out there. So as far as learning other characters, I have messed around a little bit with like Tam Tam and Yashimaru, and I enjoy those characters, but not anywhere close to being able to perform with them at a tournament level. But more and more lately, I've been considering at least trying to get somebody up to a tournament level. I was eyeing Mina as well because I think she's cool. GSL also because there's very few reps, but would be starting from the very bottom, so it'd be a lot to learn. It's been on my mind, But that said, I have not committed to learning anyone besides Ukyo because he's really fun.
Ukyo GSL sounds like a nasty combo. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, I probably should at least just learn the basics of Hibiki, because that feels like the natural progression for Ukyo, and a lot of Ukyo players just have a naturally pretty strong Hibiki from what I can tell. So I feel like I should learn that, but man, she's so boring.
yeah. To go back to when we had first brought up like Warden and like his like how prominent he's becoming, it has been funny to see how there was the concern of Baiken 20XX. We saw a little bit of Baiken carriage here and there, but it didn't really like blow up to that level. And then Hibiki and Kaz kind of started just becoming the more popular like default picks, either for people getting into the game or people like coming back and transitioning to a new character. And then like feels like Warden's gotten added to that. To me, it feels like Hibiki, Kaz, and Warden are like three of the most popular like default characters to just pick up and do stuff with.
But agree, Hibiki and Warden are like the most pick up and playable of especially the top tier characters. But even in general, they seem pretty easy to learn.
They're incredibly straightforward. And then Kaz is just like the question of well-roundedness and how much effort are you going to put in. Even at locals, like I've seen in real time, people pick up Warden and Hibiki and just do stuff and beat people. Yeah, those characters are really straightforward. But sorry, that reminded me of like what can partially contribute to like people's character choices and whatnot is also just the aspect of those characters of if you do want to pick up another character, where are you going to default to? So like, yeah, if you were to pick up Hibiki, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, at least just to like get a feel for it. You know, maybe there are some matchups that are just better not approached with Ukyo. Like Ghost would often, he has a Baiken just because there's some Ukyo matchups that he really doesn't like too much, which understandable. It's pretty interesting to see how Maru in grand finals for like the first time in 7 years.
Forever, yeah.
That's cool.
I don't think that was the best idea, but that's kind of like one of those desperation switches.
Yeah, it might have been desperation pick, to be honest.
Wasn't really sure what to do in that moment because Cypher was really giving him the business.
Yeah.
Well, we've
go ahead.
We've kind of all been the victim of that once in our lives, right? Make a bad switch, hoping it'll mix it up, right?
Yeah. Which, out of Score's characters, Haomaru is... if you're not going to do the mirror, Haomaru is like a pretty solid pick against Warden. Because by default, if the jump's giving you trouble, having a DP already is good. But then aside from that, Haomaru does have a really good advancing punish for... like if a Warden does decide to play like the recoil RPS, or if they horribly space something.
Well, Score tried
the options are there.
And then the first time he tried it, he got deflected into disarm.
Yeah, or well, that's the other thing though that I want to like observe Score more. Is I can't tell if sometimes he just defaults to throwing out 6/6Bs and is like hit confirming them. Still a mad risky thing to play footsies with, but he does make it look unusually good with well, I shouldn't say unusually good because Hibiki's 6/6B is really good, really fast, really active. But yeah, like you said, it's insanely risky if someone chooses to deflect. And it's not like how Maru doesn't have other things. Actually, it's not like all of his characters don't have something else to approach with. They all have fairly good 6/6As to like do spaced. Can do some standing pokes. But there's options in neutral, right?
I'll say Score did a pretty great job of like confirming the 6/6B into the rage slashes. It's not super easy to do.
Yeah, because the freaking input priority.
Yeah. It's easy to just like give up and like just let her do like a single hit 6/6B, but that leaves like a lot of damage on the table, right? And
Yeah.
he kind of avoided the situation at the mix-up where I hard punished his cancel, right? I think that's something he took note of because he played me, or at least I'd like to believe that. Did we lose healing vision?
No, I'm here.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
We haven't said anything in like 40 minutes.
Well,
I was about to
I'm
ask
not even
you
gonna
next,
lie.
actually.
Yeah.
Great
Well,
mis-
I'm not gonna lie. Like I've tried jumping in a couple times, and then it just kind of gets like, that's okay.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah. In
Jordan.
fact, I was gonna ask you your opinion on character choice next.
You mean as far as like multi-maining type of thing, or what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're the Amakusa guy, and we don't ever see you play anyone else, right?
So, okay, that's kind of like an interesting like thing for me. Two things. Thing number one, I actually feel like I can handle most situations. Like I think he has the tools to handle like I'm not even exaggerating. I think he has the tools to handle like 75% of situations. I think the problem is that even when I figure something out, implementing it in bracket, like actually like playing it, like you can remember things in theoreticals, like all day. And the bottom line is like if you never implement it in action, then it's kind of pointless, right? So I have a lot of like knowledge of like, okay, I need to remember to do this and that and whatever. I'll give a perfect example. So when I played a long set against Okun, like I'm not even gonna lie, like he blew me out pretty damn hard. And the thing is, like I could barely like, I did okay, but I had never really clutched the matches, right? So I never felt like it was completely impossible. I just needed to figure out what to do in certain scenarios. The one thing that Okun is really good at is when he does the umbrella float above you. So it's like, what the hell are you supposed to do, right? And so I tried doing like the running slap to like knock him out. That was really inconsistent, and depending on his options, would lose to it anyways. I tried doing close hard flash to reach that high, didn't go high enough, whatever. So through playing many matches against Okun, I realized literally the only thing I can do is teleport out and just completely get out of that mix, right? So the thing is that like there's a lot of scenarios like that, but trying to remember, there's nothing you can do. Just get the hell out, and that's your best option to reset to neutral. You want to fight your way out, right? So it's going to be hard sometimes to just think like get out of dodge, So that's kind of what I personally have to like deal with. I think he has enough tools for me to like not really worry about multi-maining. I think I just need to remember to actually use the things that I've figured out. So I don't really think too much about like, changing characters or whatever. And the other thing too is that I also feel kind of nice knowing that like if there's like one person that can like really push one character this hard, it's kind of nice knowing that I'm that guy. So maybe you could say there's a level of like, I don't want to call it ego, but it's just kind of nice knowing that like I can do some cool stuff with somebody that like people didn't realize they could do those things,
Yeah, I think that's like the dream. It's like the coolest possible thing you can do in a fighting game is to find a character that is very underrepresented or nobody really has any faith in, and then prove to the world that they can really compete. That's exactly what you're doing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and actually, that does kind of play into something I wanted to talk about earlier, but like we are so far removed from the subject, so I just wanted to bring up something about Warden and the RPS situation, right? Basically, I was just wanting to say that part of the reason why Warden is doing like certain moves, let's say, is because the RPS is literally you either win, lose, or draw, right? And that's very accurate for this game. The thing about Warden in particular, though, is that Warden's buttons are so big and they are so damaging that whenever Warden wins the RPS, you pay for it. So it's almost better for Warden players to play the RPS and luck out than it is to, like, you know, try and, like, fight it out in neutral sometimes, you know? So that's something that, like, I've been, like, mentally trying to, I guess, approach. Because, like, sometimes even for me, like, if I win the RPS, what do I get? I might get, like, you know, the carpet and the knockdown and maybe Oki again, but all that Oki does is set up another RPS situation, you know? So there's just certain things that, like, you know, I'm trying to actively remember in that moment, you know? Yeah, that's just kind of my take on it.
Okay.
Warden, fairly low risk, fairly high reward.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like the meta of this game is going to be like weirdly safe characters for high output, right? That's kind of what's in common with most of the top tiers, is that they're like high RPS output and they've got like weirdly safe options in a game that's supposed to be like a high risk game.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're kind of seeing it pay dividends in Tournament 2 already, right? Like Shiki's pretty safe, Nako's pretty safe, Orden's pretty safe.
It's pretty
Kaz is pretty safe too, if he's got balls, right?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that describes. Well, I mean, that's part of the list of like privileges for like for whatever people may consider like the higher tier or top tier characters. I think the ability to play safe, and actually you described it well, low risk, high reward relatively. That's a very big privilege in a game that's supposed to be the consequences for your actions game. So yeah, well, I mean that is just a smart choice, of course. Like, depending on who you want to play and like your style and game plan, yes, it makes sense to pick whatever character lets you do your stuff with the least amount of risk attached to it. Which is why it is interesting to hear your thoughts on Amaku's Sailing Vision, because it feels like you feel like way more comfortable with him than like the majority of people have given the character credit for, in terms of like being able to navigate matchups and situations. So it's good to hear that you feel like you're in a good spot with him.
Yeah, I don't really feel like any matchup is so bad that like I need to counter pick. I genuinely feel like I just need to remember that you have to play every matchup a little differently, because that's not one of the characters that you can do the flowcharty type of thing. I mean, early on in like, you know, figuring out the strategy in the meta, yeah, you do the knockdown and the fireball and the 50-50, like, you know, there's that stuff. But like,
He's a very good war
and
check.
if you can like, you know, keep guessing right and getting enough damage, that will like, you know, definitely help. But like, there's more to it than just that, you know. So it's just one of those things where it's like I just have to remember, like, oh well, you know, when this happens, I need to remember to like do this instead, type of thing, you know. But in the heat of the moment, sometimes that's very difficult to remember or even notice at some point. So yeah, no, just I guess I'm just trying to rock my stuff and kind of take it as far as I can. You know, I kind of like the idea of like, to me, I almost approach Samurai Showdown using him like a puzzle game. where it's like I have to be the one to figure out what the proper thing at that moment is. You know, a little different approach.
Yeah. You just reminded me. You know what would be a really good thing to do to share your insight in numerical form, if you will? Something that you still haven't given me yet?
Yeah. So wait, but are you saying like a matchup chart, like a 5-5?
Yeah, I still don't have anything under your column, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could like make one. Like, I mean, it's funny because like, okay, it's funny to talk about this because I mean, even back in the day, we were talking about how him versus Charlotte would be like one of the few like legit 7-3s, right? And even when I played like Guppy does something unique himself where he almost plays Charlotte the way I'm trying to describe the way I'm playing Amakusa, in that like you have to have the right tool set for every respective matchup. So he was kind of prepared for some things, and even though he was like beating me one of the last times we played, it was probably like Evo last year or something. Even he was acknowledging how hard it was for Charlotte to jump in and like get in on him. So once again, even though I wasn't necessarily winning, I never felt like it was completely out of control or completely helpless. It was just more of like I just needed to kind of stick to the things that worked a little bit better because that's what he was doing. He was like doing the right moves, like doing the run unders, like slide thing. Like he just knew what to do at what moment, and I guess that's what I'm trying to accomplish myself.
Yeah, which that's good. That's part of what I really like in doing this game, with just in general, like with you when playing you guys, figuring out things with all of our characters and stuff, is the problem solving aspect. It's why it's why I get so like nerdy and verbose with these things and have notes and all these things, because that's part of what I'm doing is problem solving, understanding, and for me that's the fun part. Really.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear.
Yep.
But whenever you feel like it, yes, getting some form of a matchup chart or even just general thoughts from you would be good, because there's a handful of characters in this matchup thing that they're missing scores from like the person for that character, and Amakusa is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, but then there are some that like just seem like kind of like strange that like you don't understand it till it happens. It's like the fact that Wanfu, it feels like some people say like, oh well, totally in one favor, totally in the other. But when you have the situation where it feels like both sides are saying it's in the other person's favor, isn't that like the definition of a 5-5?
Yeah, probably. Or it could go either way.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like it's a coin flip, Nobody likes losing a coin flip, though.
Wanfu even. Yeah, thank you for answering.
Oh yeah, sure.
Did anybody do any cool Vegas-y things?
Nope.
No, yeah, I don't actually like Vegas very much, to be entirely honest with you. So
Really?
no, yeah, I don't like Vegas.
You're not there to gamble.
Yeah,
You just have a lot of overpriced.
True.
the one thing
Gamble
there
or
is to
drink.
see shows. I haven't seen Penn and Teller in like 10 years. That would be cool to go to, but I can't really afford to take extra days.
My wife and I on Friday night we saw Cirque du Soleil, which was actually really cool.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I
So-
meant to ask about that.
Yeah, and that was my second time staying on the Strip. The other would have been staying at the Luxor for Vegas Climax last year, but at the Cosmopolitan, which is by the Bellagio and stuff, and it was kind of cool. I felt like I got the vibe of what like the real Vegas experience, or like the typical Vegas experience, I should say, is like. So I had a good time with that.
Nice.
Nice, I'm glad. In fact, I kind of get the both sides of it, where it feels like in the past when like you're prepared to like make a trip out of it, and like you're down to like see shows or basically eat and drink and gamble, really, like Vegas can be pretty cool. But for me, it might just be current circumstances, but for me it's felt harder and harder to be able to do both. It feels like anytime I'm going to a major event, I'm kind of just there to play. This Evo was like a little bit an exception, sort of, just because of the weird nature of like we did Samsho on Friday, and then we're doing top 8 on Sunday. I'm like, well, frick, okay. And so Saturday technically could have been the opportunity to do some Vegas-y stuff or check out the convention, but I just ended up in the hotel, half labbing, half watching my friends play Samsho and teaching them stuff, and getting slightly inebriated until I finally went to go play friendlies with you guys. So like I wasn't even prepared to like do Vegas-y stuff at all.
I just want to put this on the table. I don't know if it's because of the expenses or whatever, but this felt like the least Evo-like Evo experience I've ever had. Where like I think, don't get me wrong, it was nice to like hang out and like see everybody. That's like one of the best things about doing these tournaments. But it just felt like, I don't know if people were just burnt out or maybe it was like a money thing or something, but like nobody was really in the mood to live it up like Vegas like we have in the past. And I don't know, maybe it was just a mood thing, I don't know, but like it felt different, but I don't exactly know why. Like I didn't gamble once, and I love playing blackjack when I can, so like that was just like, it just was the furthest thing from my mind at that point, so I don't know, it just felt different.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It felt like kind of understated compared to previous Evos, like that it's missing that grandiosity.
You could definitely see less people in the room, the ballroom.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Which, I mean, as an attendee, it's kind of nice. You're not bumping into anybody.
Spacious.
Yeah, but also and I think a lot of that goes back to just Evo in general this year. It's quite a bit more expensive. There's a lot of tournaments, in front and back of it that are like very competition focused, whereas Evo maybe is a little more event, focused on the community and stuff, which is really cool as well. But and for Samsho it was Master 3, so just barely made it as a qualifier.
Yeah.
I guess, Healing Vision, you might have answered the question that maybe it was because of like the cost. Maybe just, I mean, can't speak for everybody, but maybe the whole vibe maybe was more in the line of business. If you're there to play.
Yeah.
That sort of vibe, and then like everyone that couldn't go, it just made the whole event overall more spacious, yes, but lower energy, less people there, sort of thing.
I'm just gonna say it. Vegas Climax was so much fun. Like I don't know what it was. It just felt like there was all kinds of like really good high energy and whatever. And I don't think Evo had it this year. But in a weird way, I don't know if it's like specifically Evo's fault or if it's just like the community or whatever, or maybe it literally is just because like the fact that so many people like couldn't afford to go. Like it's you think in theory like, oh, it'd be nice to go to like Disneyland when it's like really slow, so you can get on the rides and do whatever you want without the crowds. But when you do go on a slow day, it feels kind of sad. Like not sad like depressing, but just kind of like, oh, the crowd was almost a part of it that you didn't acknowledge until it's gone.
Yeah, it does affect the vibe.
Well,
yeah, that's fair. And yeah, we didn't get any. I mean, aside from Score and Sonaru, we're both, they seem like lovely people, but they're, a little bit more detached from the Samsho community. So typically we'd like, we'd meet up with
like
all the Japanese
Guppy,
players, and we
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to some fancy steak restaurant or something like
Korean
that.
barbecue. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but this time there was a little more, yeah, just a smaller crowd, not too many international players to go cavorting about with.
Yeah, I think they were busy at the time too. Actually, isn't that why they did Maki and Score's match first? Because Score had to go play Fatal Fury.
Yep.
Oh man, I forgot or I think Sonaru was done by Uni by then. I forgot. But Frey, that's another thing that I didn't even do. See, Healing, you're right. I just wasn't in like the same Evo mode because I wasn't even like going and playing like friendlies or anything like usual. I kind of was just playing and getting stuff over with. I didn't even get to ask Sonaru to play Uni with him because I was gonna need to get on the road. Yeah, just different vibe overall this time. Hope that's not the case of CEO.
No,
Yeah, no, I
CEOs. Yeah, that's gonna be fine.
Yeah, just I think CEO is going to be popping just like Combo Breaker was.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that. That's a pretty focused major with still gets a lot of appeal. And they're at a better venue now too, and with good report. Not like the problems they had before with the something beach. I forget what it's called, but the sketchy beach with all the races. That
Well, Daytona.
yeah, the Daytona. Yeah, Daytona. It's not at Daytona anymore. So
Daytona.
Crisis averted.
Yeah, and that one will also have a lot of. I know a lot of Japanese players are planning to come to that one, so that'll be nice. Competition's going to be pretty fierce.
Be fierce. Hopefully we have some fun along the way. No hard feelings when I win.
Of course. Of course.
I am half joking. You have to speak these things into existence. But well, in fact, that's why part of me, like, yeah, I want to maintain like the vibe of like going to a cool like, big event, treating it like a convention. Honestly, like go and do stuff, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to enter anything else. Kind of tempted to enter Under Night because it did better than I thought I would at Evo, honestly. And part of me like still wants to keep playing Uni, but there's another part of me that's saying like CEO, I should like be focused, and then more so just hang out and check out other stuff rather than trying to also compete in other games. I don't know how you guys like when it comes to like competitive focus, like do you feel like it gets split too much if you try to play something else, or do you just enter and play for vibes? Like for CEO, are you guys gonna enter anything else, or does that affect you guys at all?
I might play the Avatar game. I was kind of hyped for it, and then now I'm seeing all the crazy stuff people are coming up with, and now I don't want to play as much because it's like I might not be big brain enough now, right?
You wanted to be another Samsho, and it turned into another Marvel.
It's yeah.
Avatar looks insane.
Kind of that type of game. It's not like. Well, there are characters with air dashes. I was gonna say there's no air dashes, but that's not true. So it's definitely a Skullgirls-y pace-ish game.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on. I feel like I could get used to it or try, but that's not a game I expect to have fast success in. So,
So I'll probably enter Fatal Fury just because I mean, I'm not great at Fatal Fury, mostly because Jenny keeps getting worse. But I enjoy the game for what it is, and I love playing it. So I'll enter that. For all the previous tournaments, I've actually entered Virtua Fighter a few times, but then I never played it since they did the actual balance changes, and I had no idea how badly they nerfed me in particular. So I think was it Combo Breaker when I entered Fatal Fury. I'm sorry, Virtua Fighter. I didn't realize how much of my stuff didn't work anymore, so like I don't have the time to like relearn new stuff for Virtua Fighter, so I'm just gonna tap out. As much as I love the game, they changed too much of my stuff in particular that I'm just like, all right, I think I'm good. So just Samsho and Fatal Fury from here on out.
That's fair. That's a wild way to find out what's going on.
Yeah, in tournament
your
stuff was not working.
Oh no. Gotcha.
I'll be entering Strive at CEO, but the game's been out long enough, and I have a lot of hours in it, so I don't really need to do much as far as preparing. So it's not really, for me, it's not really an issue as far as focus. If there's any issue that I've noticed just coming from Combo Breaker, maybe just lengthening the day a little bit, like even if I'm not preparing for Strive all that much, just by having to play competitive matches in Strive plus competitive matches in Samsho, you know, you can run out of stamina a little bit if you're playing competitively for too long. So maybe that would be a slight drawback, but overall, it's not a big deal for me.
Okay.
I don't really play any other new games except I do play Street Fighter 6 and I like that game, but I don't really, I don't think I'm at a competitive level like tournament competition, but I do like the game. And otherwise, I just play like old games. So like, I've always contemplated signing up for Marvel 2. When I first started going back to EVO, like right after the pandemic, I signed up for everything. It was like Street Fighter 6, Marvel 2, Marvel 3, Samsho. But after a couple years of doing that, it just felt so exhausting to even just keep track of like which bracket is where and all that sort of thing. So since for the last few years, I haven't really entered anything except Samsho, and probably gonna stick to that for the most part. And just spend the rest of the time, you know, enjoying the venue as much as possible. Yeah, I don't know. Considered signing up for Marvel 2 here and there.
I'm not sure. I haven't played Street Fighter with you or anything, so I don't know where you're at with that game. But when you say you're not tournament level, I think you haven't seen what some of the players entering Street Fighter or the other like biggest games are. I'm sure I'm sure you'd be fine. Maybe not good enough that you'd like want to put the time into it, but I
That's
think
true.
Yeah.
Watching some of those early pools matches, it's, you know, there's 2,000 people who sign up for Street Fighter, so
yeah, there's some people who wanted a spectator badge and didn't know that was an option, if that makes sense.
That's cold, dude.
Is he wrong?
That was
But no,
actually
yeah,
me, but I didn't enter any games. I bought a full price badge for the engraving. Yeah, no, for Evo, because I wanted it
Oh.
personalized. So I paid full price.
Oh
That
man.
was an expensive badge, dude.
Yeah, but it has my name on it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it looks cool.
that's cool.
So, are we about good for today? Did anyone want to get anything else off their chest here?
The overall
I
is
know
great.
Healing Vision has to go soon. So
Yeah. Well, I guess I just want to say that I know we've kind of talked about it, like, you know, after the tournament or whatever, but I feel like we really, really need to make a vested effort to come together and kind of like help each other out, because the competition is getting so fierce that like I think we do need to work together instead of kind of like doing that whole like save it for nationals type of thing. Yeah. I think really, and like that's why B-boy, I did not mean to like, you know, say or do anything that would make you feel like I was like picking on you after your like loss, but like I just was like, oh my gosh, you gotta like not do that, because that's what happened. Like objectively, that's what happened. But it wasn't coming from a place of like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that. It was more of like, this is the kind of things that we need to help each other out and like point out, like, you know, as much of an objective way as possible, because it's not like an ego thing. It's just literally like, you know, we need to work together. I think that's just what I'm putting on the table.
No, yeah, and don't worry. Like I didn't take it that way. I mean, like obviously in the moment things can like hurt, especially later on. But don't worry. I get what you mean, and I do appreciate that you guys were observing and are willing to like discuss and whatnot. Because I mean, in fact, side note, sorry again if I'm ever like rambling and like talking all about like specific things at such lengths. I want to make sure that I don't like miss anything, and hopefully I don't take up too much time. But that's obviously what I like to do, is discussing and understanding things. And I agree that be it through practice or discussion or whatever, let's put that scrub Discord to use, and let's really grind. And I guess obligatory, like I don't know if it'd be a general announcement. As I always say, any questions or whatever you have, just send it my way. And I've mainly shared it with people that I've like done coaching for, like with Gian Wolf, but I guess I should just make it a general announcement in general, like for everybody, that if you want like to see like my giant Google Docs and things, like I'll send it to you. I hadn't made all of my information public because one, a while back, like everything was still like scattered schizo notes with like very bad formatting. Now things are like relatively well organized. I don't know if I would still make it fully public because like it's not really professional. Like I don't know. But basically the point is, if you ever want to see like the things that I'm talking about and like all the stuff that I have noted and why I have such a nerdy structured approach to everything, let me know and I'll send you the links. You can look at everything that I have. I'm not really, there's been things in my head that like I try to keep in mind to like have prepared for major events, but to be real, like everything I do, it's either I chose, actually, yeah, like what Scrub said, either I chose correctly or not. So I don't think there's really anything I can really save for nationals. I'm gonna do the stuff and either it works or it doesn't. So yeah, to everyone out there, if you want access to really nerdy information, just let me know and I'll send it to you.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Right. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for another excellent episode. Make sure to follow our hosts on social media, except for Healing Vision and Daigo because they don't have the social media. But for the ones that do, be sure to follow. And we'll see you all at S Factor, CEO, and whatever else we can make it to this year. Thank you very much. Happy 4th of July and have a great weekend. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Happy 4th.
Sayonara.
Bye, everybody.